us through time and space. See the indie games and learn to create. Check us out, get refined. Watch our vids at Games Defined.
Hi and welcome to our Flash animation tutorial. Today we'll be primarily featured on Flash animation and not on the programming aspect of Flash. Flash uses ActionScript 3 or ActionScript 2 depending on what library you use. You can also build for the Android phones and iOS phones. So today we're just going to create a new ActionScript 3 document, although it doesn't matter which one you use for the purpose of Flash animation. So we're going to select the circle tool at the side, or oval tool like it used to say there, and then give it a stroke colour, let's say black, and a fill colour. This could be anything. Now I'm going to use some funky gradients at the bottom of the screen like so, and then put it to the screen like so. I'll click and hold shift at the same time and then drag to create my ball, and there we go, there's a ball. So today we're going to do some tweens and show you how to do some basic tweens. This is a basic of Flash animation. So as you can see, if you just click using the pointer tool onto the screen, you can also set document height. So I can do 920 by 180, which is 1080p, although probably in Flash it wouldn't really matter, and then drag the ball to about the centre of the screen. So how to make this ball animate. This is the timeline. This is a keyframe. A keyframe means that something's happening on the screen. You can also use layers to layer up objects onto the screen. So if I wanted 2 bouncing balls, I'd create a new layer and then create it ball 2 and ball 1 and so forth. So we're going to rename this by double clicking the name and put ball 1, and that's going to be our first ball. So for this I'm going to do a movement tween, simple enough. So right click the ball and convert to symbol. This is important. So what does all these symbols mean? So we've got movie clip. A movie clip is basically something happening to that ball, so this is move along the screen or changing in shape. So that's movie clip. A graphic is a static image that does not have any movement or shape properties involved. So that's basically for just solid background objects or that kind of stuff. And then buttons, if I can actually click right, is where you click on it and something happens within code. We won't be going on to them today, but they are pretty useful in later on. So let's go for movie clip. So we can name it ball and OK that. I'll say something cool in a minute and give it an instance name of ball for later on in the next part of this tutorial. So now we've got that, we can double click and we enter into the symbol editor, or I don't know what name it's actually got, but that's the name I like to call it. So we can go to the tool timeline, don't drag the ball yet, and go into about frame 30 and insert keyframe, and then all we got to do, slow the ball down, hold down shift while you move the ball. Actually, as you can see there, I've just made a mistake. I didn't select the outline. So you're supposed to select the outline as well. And here we go. So at the moment, when you press enter, which is the play button on the timeline, it doesn't do a damn thing. So how do we make that ball move? So go here, create motion tween, and here we go. I should have done it on the actual symbol later on. And then go into here, click here, insert a keyframe. Actually I'd probably go to about the end, insert a keyframe, position, and now move the ball to wherever you want. You can also edit this line here to have some curls to the line. So as you can see here, when it plays the ball will drop to the floor, or at least to the point I moved it at. But you can also edit this. Say we want a bit of a rebound, we can make the ball do a bit of a curveball, and there we go. So you can edit this line to affect the overall curve of the ball. So here we go. We can also at the side, if you click here on the timeline, you can also have a look, and you can also find ease, which is how it's kind of like how it will ease into the next animation frame. I can't really describe it. Rotation is how much it rotates. You can rotate 39 times, 7 times in that, and it will rotate around, although you can't really see, but they would rotate. You can also have a path in option, which is what I've done here, and sync graphical symbols. I don't know what that actually means, but it's quite advanced anyway. For now, we just need to concentrate on getting this ball moving, so let's put it straight for now. We can have a little bit of a bend, it doesn't really matter, it is a ball, it's going to bend around a little bit. Right, now, this doesn't look really realistic because it would bound upwards, so let's create more frames. You go to the last frame, which is, if I can precisely click this, computer's playing up today, hold down F5 and you get a load more frames. I'm going to do it to about 60. Doesn't actually matter for this tutorial, although I'd neatly tidy it up later on. And position, you can also have scale, skew and rotation, and that's why the rotation didn't work, I think. And unless if I'm mistaken, put it in the comments below if you think you've got an answer to that. It wouldn't bounce all the way upwards because of physics. And let's play that. Press enter to preview what you've done. You can also press Ctrl and enter, and it will export a SWF movie, and that's basically what it will look like. I don't know why it's flashing a little bit. I think it's my graphic card on the way out, which is a bit weird. But anyway, you should have a look at that. Right, and then it will bound up a little bit more. So if you double click the ball and then go into it like I've done here, you can then create swipe tune, and at the bottom it highlights the screen. So then if you go into frame 30, probably just a little bit beforehand, you don't have to worry about movement here, and then put the ball a bit down like that using the pointer tool. The reason I've done just before frame 30 is that way it just hits the ground, and then a couple more frames across. If you create a keyframe here and then put it back to how it was, you probably actually want to delete this thing and go back into the full ball, copy and then paste, and then at the bottom of the screen you should see this. Just remembering which one it is, the second one along, and you can see the onion skin outline to place it exactly where it is with very minimal effort. And if you double click off that, you can then see the ball moving and bending. It's not exactly perfect, but you can work on it in your own time to try and get the effect you want. And then when we go into it, we should be able to see the ball moving and bending when we do this. The difference between this screen is that was the preview, but then if we go into this and then play, we should be able to see the bounding up and down of the ball as it goes up and down into it. I think my graphic card is a little bit out of whack, but yeah, you should be able to see the general effect of the ball bouncing up and down. That's because of the rotation there. So if I take off the rotation that I did earlier, I'm just looking at the rotate. So if I double click into this and then go into here, we should be able to see it. It goes up and down. Finally, if you wanted to get another ball, what we do is go into library, go into symbol 1. Oh, actually we need to get out of here, go into ball and move it along. So like if I accidentally deleted both of them on the screen, I can use the library to get out existing assets and then place them around. So now we've got 3 balls going up and then down using the rotation and the bounce, which is a good effect. So as well as this, we might want to animate text. So here we go, we've got demo with a capital D because I'm into grammar, and then go into there with the pointer tool, go into there and convert to symbol and movie clip, double click it and then delete some of the characters. I could have already done that, and put a keyframe into each 10th frame. So here we go, I've got one at 10, one at 20, one at 30, and then just to give it a time, remember to give it time, because at the moment that's only on one frame, so when it displays on the screen it will just whiz through that like there's no tomorrow. So you need the extra couple of frames there. You don't really need a keyframe, you could have just done with blank frames, and there we go. And now when we display that to the screen, we have DEMO, and that's demo. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also do it in colours. You can also change the colour of each bit of text to get some fancy text onto the screen. So what happens if we wanted to import this? We'd go into publish settings, onto the file at the top, and then here we go, we've got our SWF. Name that something like demo.swf, and then publish it at the bottom, and then there's your browse to find where you want to have the destination to save. So yeah, that's pretty much Flats for today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. As I say, it is something of a lost art, and it is something that you can do to create your own animated shorts. There was one years and years back on Newgrounds. This is a maze of a Cowboy Girl song from Final Fantasy, and that was absolutely awesome. So I think thumbs up to the guy that created that. So yeah, that's pretty much Flats. If you like us, please like and subscribe. It does do us a lot of favours if you do. And